Chapter 28. Colette had planned a special outing for us on the Sunday before the new term started. I was more than a little excited, not just because I would be spending time with Colette, but because she had planned something for us to do. Most of the time we spent together, it seemed our activities were unplanned and spontaneous. I found her sitting on her top step, waiting for me. When she saw me approaching, she stood to join me, carrying a fairly large basket.
I thought it would be nice to take a walk. Can we visit your orange trees to pick an orange?
Of course. I'll never pass up an opportunity to check on the trees. I didn't bring my measuring tape today, though, so we'll just have to settle for a taste observation.
I think that will be more than sufficient.
She met me next to my bicycle and brought her lips up to meet mine. After a moment that was shorter than I had hoped for, we started walking the few blocks to the orange trees.
How are you feeling about the term starting tomorrow? Nervous? Excited? And your birthday is coming up soon, is it not?
Yeah, my birthday's on Wednesday. Father wanted me to quit school and apprentice full-time once I turned 16, but we convinced him there was no rush to do so. I really enjoy most of my classes.
That's good to hear, Corban. Did you know I took classes as long as I could?
I didn't know that.
As we stopped to pick an orange, I realized that Colette had been out of school as long as I had known her.
Would it be rude of me to ask how old you are now? All Henri has told me is that you are older than him and will inherit your father's business one day.
Her lips pursed together, making me want to kiss them. I couldn't tell how she was feeling about my question, but I didn't think she was offended.
All of that is true. How old would you say I am?
Instead of answering immediately, I began peeling the orange for us to share, mostly to give me more time to think.
If she was 18 when I met her, she would be at least 20 or 21 now. She can't be much older than that. Why is it so difficult to judge an attractive woman's age?
Finally, I settled on a guess. I handed her half of the peeled orange in an attempt to hide my embarrassment as I replied,
Perhaps 22. I really don't know.
Wow, you're quite close. I turned 23 this past April.
We walked in silence for a block.
Does it bother you that I'm so much older than you?
As I finished my orange half, I noticed her eyebrows were knit in concern.
Why would it bother me, Colette? Although my parents have never discussed it, I believe Mother is much younger than Father. Does it bother you that I'm so much younger than you are? I have many whom I would consider friends, most much older than me.
I trailed off as I noticed the frown that crossed her face, and we had stopped walking at some point.
Is that all you consider me? A friend, Corban?
Her question and posture were weighted with disappointment. I answered quickly, desperate to alleviate her concerns.
I consider you my best friend, Colette. I'm not sure what else to say, except Father explained to me about the different kinds of love that can exist between people. They all mostly made sense, though he didn't explain much about the last one.
And what kind of love would that be?
A hint of curiosity had entered her disappointment.
Well, I think he said it was the kind of love that exists between two people in a marriage. I know he said that it usually starts as a friendship, then grows into something more. He asked if I knew anything or had heard anything about that kind of love, and I admitted I hadn't.
As I trailed off, I watched as her frown of disappointment slowly transformed into a small, hopeful smile. She started walking again, more quickly now. It took me more than a few quick steps to catch up. We were approaching Central Square, and I still wondered where we were going and what she had planned. We continued walking quietly, and because she didn't resume our conversation, I followed her lead. I really didn't know what to say anyway. I looked down and took notice of her free hand swinging next to me in time with our pace. Suddenly, instinct took over, and I grabbed it. Her smile widened as we continued walking. Nestled in mine, her hand felt smooth and warm at first, and I could feel my pulse and breaths coming a bit faster. Soon, our hands had sort of stuck together due to the stickiness of the juicy orange. On a Sunday afternoon at the end of August, Central Square was not even close to crowded. The northeaster had quit blowing, bringing back the typical heat of summer. In addition, there was hardly a breeze near the ground or a cloud in the sky to provide relief from the heat. Hand in hand, she led me to the enormous fountain in the middle of the square. Once there, she set down the basket and opened the lid of one side. She produced a green-colored glass bottle of grape juice and a small basket covered with a towel. Then we sat down together. She opened the bottle and took a swig. Since she had produced no glasses or cups from the basket, I accepted the bottle from her and took a drink. Still cool, the juice was greatly refreshing on that hot afternoon, tart as it was. She uncovered the smaller basket to reveal pastries of some sort.
I baked these myself. Strawberry.
She picked one up and offered me another. As small as it was, I could have finished it in 3 bites, but I decided to pace myself. The crust of the pastry, flaky and buttery, complemented the sweet tartness of the strawberry filling perfectly. As I took another bite, I noticed the outside was lightly dusted with sugar. Before I knew it, the pastry had disappeared. My hunger satisfied for the moment, I took another drink from the bottle and looked over to see Colette observing the occasional passer-by. Despite her flushed face, frizzy hair and signs of sweat under her arms, she looked simply beautiful in the afternoon light. She turned and found me observing her, and a smile flitted across her face, followed quickly by a frown of confusion.
Corban, what do you want for yourself? What do you want to do in the future? I know you aren't interested in being a cleric.
How?
She put a finger to my lips to hold my silence.
I just know. You've been very careful not to say anything, but I think I know you well enough to understand. You want so much in life, and the life of a cleric would never be enough for you. So, I'll ask again. What do you want, Corban?
Even though she had lowered her finger, I didn't answer. At first I didn't know what to say, though I had been thinking about it for a while now.
Maybe I do want to be a cleric, just not his kind of cleric. I would enjoy helping people know their creator better, but I couldn't live like he does. I'm not sure I know enough about anything to say more. And that's just it. I want to know more about the world, not just our city. I'm sure I could keep learning at school, but eventually, I don't think that would be enough.
I noticed a tear slowly rolling down her left cheek.
What is it? Colette, what's wrong?
She sniffled, then wiped the tears still in her eyes.
Nothing's wrong, Corban. I expected such an answer from you, or I should have. I know you must be true to yourself, but at the same time, it's sad.
I'll say, you know how Father is. How can this ever happen for me?
No, I mean, yes, it is sad for you, but I believe you can make anything happen if you work hard enough for it. What I meant was, it's sad for me as well.
How can my future, my hopes in life, be something that could make you sad? Don't you enjoy what you do, what your family does?
Oh, yes. I love the family business. But I have been hoping for a while now that we could share a future together.
She paused, then nodded.
Corban, I've been courting you.
The smile slowly slid off my face, replaced with what must have been a blank stare. I froze entirely. For all I knew, my heart had stopped beating as well. All I could think about were her words.
Corban, I've been courting you.
She must have taken my silence for incomprehension.
I thought for sure you would have understood, but of course you would not. You've been so sheltered by your parents your whole life. You know little of the ways of the city, much less of the world. And Maman, she did not see how it would work out. She tried discouraging me, but after a while, she gave up.
My thoughts went back to the meal at La Toussaint that our families had shared together, nearly 2 years earlier. I cleared my suddenly dry throat.
Now I understand what was going on that day. That's what you and your mother were arguing about before my family arrived. Mother must have picked up on that too. That comment you made when all of you were talking later.
I suppose that makes sense. After all, she is a woman and a mother.
But I don't understand. Why are you sad? You want us to be together, so why can't we? I love being with you.
I paused to swallow the lump that had suddenly appeared in my throat.
Colette, I love you.
Trailing off with tears forming in my eyes, I leaned over and embraced her tightly. She hugged me back, and yet I sensed a tension in her that had not been eased. I pulled back to look at her. She took my hands in hers.
Corban, I love you, and I know you believe you love me, but love isn't always so simple. Love is like a fire. It needs space and time to grow. No, that's not quite right.
She trailed off, again, searching for the right words.
Love is like a tree that grows. It might seem like it's growing well in the wet season, but what if it shrivels up and dies in the dry season? Would you bet your whole future on a tree that hasn't yet proven itself through all the seasons?
Again, I didn't have an answer. Her reasoning was sound, but it didn't change my feelings for her.
You might be willing to stake your whole future on this love, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I could live with you, wondering if you'll suddenly outgrow me someday. Or even worse, if we had a long and happy life together, I would always wonder if you weren't meant for something greater, and whether I was the one thing keeping you from reaching it.
It was heartbreaking, listening to her pour out her heart and not knowing what to do about it. At the same time, as speechless as I was, I felt inexplicably free. The wrong kind of free. Like a ship drifting without its anchor, hopelessly blown along by a hurricane. I instinctively struggled to regain that anchor.
Colette, I'm sorry this is so hard for us. I wish I could do something to make things less complicated. Maybe you're right. I've already admitted I know little of such love. I'm still young. It's like my whole life is laid out before me, but it's a mystery that I'm just supposed to walk out into, trusting that the Creator will bring me where I need to go. Does that make sense?
She nodded, then sniffled.
It makes perfect sense, Corban. Thank you for sharing. I know it's difficult with me like I am right now. I'm sorry.
I squeezed her hands firmly, but not harshly.
No, Colette, don't apologize for who you are. Mother has said the same thing to me. Well, almost the same thing. We must be true to ourselves. Maybe you are part of the mystery set out for my future. It's just too soon to know for sure.
I shook my head.
I wish I did know for sure. My love for you, the feelings I have for you, have been threatening to overwhelm me. But you're right, it might not always be like that. If we were to make a lifelong commitment to one another now based on our feelings, it wouldn't be fair to either of us.
It's not fair now. You are so much more than any other man I've met. And you haven't even grown into the man you'll become someday.
She leaned forward and kissed me passionately, drenching both of us in our mutually shed tears. Some time later, she broke the kiss forcefully, as if she were tearing herself away from me like one tears a sheet of paper glued to another. She quickly gathered the remains of our picnic into the basket and stood, so I followed. On the long walk back to her house, we decided we both needed time to think about our futures. Once we reached the front door, she set down the basket and wrapped me up in another warm embrace. She was crying softly again, and I wondered why I no longer was, as I firmly hugged her to me. I went to bed that night, my feelings shredded to bits. For once, I was not looking forward to the next day, the first day of school for the new term. I had absolutely no thoughts or expectations for my new courses. I was torn between my love for Colette and my desire to find my place in life, to fill the purpose the Creator had specifically created me to fulfill. It felt like my heart had been chopped up and cooked into Mrs. Morrel's paella. I thought I was going to be sick. Instead, the dam behind my eyes broke. I sobbed and sobbed. I've never cried so much. At one point, I noticed Mother standing in my doorway. I didn't want to talk to anyone, so I pulled my sheet over my head and cried some more. Eventually, the crying stopped. Most of the aching in my chest had receded, only to be replaced with an empty feeling at the loss of what Colette and I had, and could have had together.